You're waiting for the answer rather than going out and creating it yourself. Some of you aren't doing the fucking work. That's really what it comes down to. Really, I don't mind too much when you guys ask this. Actually, I don't mind at all when you guys ask this, but there's a lot of people not asking it, and it's an excuse, right? Here's a little story I like to tell about those 3 bad bitches that we know so well. I don't know, actually, that's not part of it. I just thought that. So there's so many people asking questions, right? So many people all the time asking questions. But they're not like legitimate real questions. They're not questions that you actually need the answer to, because the reality is you have the answer to all that shit in your pocket. We have the answer to everything in the world in your pocket. You might not realize this, but it does math. You can even speak your language in and have another language come out to another person. You don't even have to know foreign languages to hold communication with people any longer, because your phone will just change that shit for you. The answer to questions: where's this come from? How did we do this? How did we get this? Where's this product piece come from? What's the deal? The answer for all that shit's on your phone, but you guys are so busy waiting for the answer. I can't go do this because I don't have this, or I can't go do this because I don't know where to get this. So you're busy waiting for somebody to give you the key to success, or the industry trade secret, or whatever it is, the lines of supply that they've spent 30 years developing, product that they literally have made in warehouse that you literally can't get. It only exists because they had it spec'd to their specs. You're waiting for the answer rather than going out and creating it yourself, or just simply speaking. You don't even have to type it anymore. You can speak. Where do I get XYZ? And Google will just shit that out to you. They'll just tell you. The Google magic will be like, and you can even, Google will tell you back in a voice of an Australian chick or an English chick or Samuel L. Jackson, whatever, however you want to hear it. The answers are all there. It is all there, but you guys are just lazy. And really, it's probably not even that most of the people that we're talking about, it's not even that you're lazy. You didn't even try. It's just an excuse. I'm going to go and do this thing. Well, how's this thing going? Well, I'm waiting on whatever. Well, it's in your pocket. The answer is literally in your pocket. Your holdup is not lack of knowledge. Your holdup is lack of effort in looking for the knowledge, because it's really not even effort. You don't even have to stand up any longer. When we needed to find a product, here's an example. We were doing weapons, pistol retention lanyards, the curly stuff, right? We started off buying phone cords from Walmart, and they were 6 feet long. We can only get one lanyard out of that, the way it worked. So we started buying these 20-foot pieces and cutting them in and getting 3 out of them. We went to the Walmart local to the shop and bought all of them. And then we went to another Walmart and bought all of them. Before you know it, we had all of them. So then we started going to Radio Shacks. We started going places. Online didn't really exist. It wasn't there. So we needed to have this stuff made. Fast forward a year or so, and these phone cords we were using were splitting. We were literally sewing through them and then putting some heat shrink on them to cover where we had sewed it together. Well, they started failing. We started having problems with them. So I needed a curly cord with a stainless steel wire cable in the middle, made of either rubber or silicone. Where do you look for that? Like, I don't even know what that's called. So what did we do? We had to go to the library, a big library that actually held a set of Thomas registries. If you don't know what Thomas registries were, they were kind of like this material green clad book, like an encyclopedia, but way bigger, like a major big city's yellow pages, and it was like 48 of those. So what did I look up? I looked up wire cable. And then you have to write this shit down or pay to have it photocopied, and we didn't have money for photocopying. We wrote all the shit down that was for wire cables, the name and the phone number. And then you had to call all these places, and I described to them what I needed. And then she'd be like, well, Bob's at lunch. Can you call back? Or can I have Bob call you? So you did make 4 or 5 phone calls to finally, with each company, to finally get the dude that might have the answer. And he's like, oh yeah, we can send you this thing. I'm like, cool. He's like, $25, we'll build this sample for you and send it to you. Well, I didn't have fucking $25. And I didn't have a means to give them $25 over the phone. So what do? You took some cash to a check place or a bank and you got a money order and then you mailed that shit. By the time we started getting samples back, it was 6 weeks later. By the time we found a place that could build what we actually needed, it was almost a 6-month evolution to get the final thing and to have, and we had to buy 1,000 of these things. We had to buy 1,000 parts just to get them to actually make these, which is crazy because they can send you one for $25, but it takes 6 months to get 1,000 of them somehow. Now, if I needed that, I can literally hit the microphone thing on Google and speak that shit, and it will just give me answers. And I can do that from bed at 2 a.m. this morning, and then I can just email out and put out exactly what I want, and I can copy paste it, and I can put it to all those email accounts. Amazingly still in this day and age, if I sent 100 of those, I would only hear back from 50 of those people. You know what the crazier shit is? Half of the people you would email that you actually heard back from, unknowing to you, would be in China. China, Pakistan, and India can get back to you faster than a reputable company in the United States oftentimes will. It's fucking amazing. You know why? Because they're fucking hungry. And that's what you're not. You're not hungry. That's why you're asking dudes questions that you should have the answer to already. If you're going to ask the question and you really want a real answer, come and go, hey, this is what I'm thinking. These are my options. Which one would you go with? You can't call up a company and go, hey, where the fuck did this come from? Because they see you as competition. You might not be competition today. I actually will help some small dudes nowadays. You go back 5 years ago, I wouldn't have even returned your email because I'd have seen you as a threat. Now I want to grow up some smaller companies. I want to help some dudes, even in my direct industry, because my thought is my bottleneck is manufacturing. So if I can help a dude right now stand up a company that's kind of a hobby company, maybe we can bring him in. Maybe we can bring him in and employ him. Because he tries to run a business. He likes the building and the new things, but he doesn't like running the business part of it. Maybe we can bring him in here. Or maybe he does awesome and has manufacturing. Maybe he builds some shit for us. Maybe we do some collaborations later on. Maybe we co-brand or something. But I guess what I'm saying is, do the footwork. Don't use it as an excuse that I'm waiting for this thing, because you're not waiting on some shit. It'd be like building this building and you're like, hey, have you cleared the land? No, I'm waiting for the metal to show up. I haven't cleared the land yet. Meanwhile, there's a forest and a swamp right here. We haven't drained it. We haven't done shit. You guys are doing a lot of backward shit. There's always work to put in, even if you're not there. If you want to be a bodybuilder, you want to be Mr. Olympia, you probably should go try and do some shows first. You probably should lift some weights. You want to go play fucking pro tennis, you probably ought to be at a tennis club and at least played a couple fucking games of tennis. You should probably be able to overhand serve. It's like that. Just do the fucking work.